Hello, my name is Krista Adams, and I am the proud principal of Stevenson Elementary, located in Mesa Public Schools. It is a true honor and a privilege to be invited by ASU to share our work towards building the next education workforce. The team at ASU has played a significant role in helping us grow our practices and reimagine our profession. We are deeply grateful for their partnership and commitment to this work. So a little bit about me. I've been the principal at Stevenson for the past 3 years. Prior to this position, I worked as a teacher, Title I specialist, and assistant principal within Mesa Public Schools and the Creighton School District in Phoenix. So today I'll be sharing our journey this past year with our third grade team and where we are headed as a school. For us, it just all started out with a team of educators who were willing to link arms, dream big, and take risks with a goal in mind to make learning better for our students. So by no means are we experts in this work, but rather we're just very committed. And we hope that by sharing our work that we can help others along their journey and ultimately develop a network and a community of educators working together to improve learning for all students. So today I will be sharing with you a little bit about who we are, how we approach teaming, how we have begun to provide deeper personalized learning, what specializations and advancement pathways we're working towards, also what a typical day looked like for our third graders this past year, and our next steps for our school. So let me begin by just giving you a little bit of background of who we are at Stevenson and the students that we serve. Stevenson is an elementary school that serves approximately 600 students in preschool through 6th grade. We're located on the Maricopa County Island in East Mesa. We have a diverse student body that includes approximately 88% free and reduced lunch, 28% English language learners, and 18% special education students. So Stevenson has a history of a high turnover in leadership and staff. And so when I was hired, I happened to be the third principal in 3 years, and the school had just earned the state letter grade of a D. So as a new principal, I spent a lot of time listening to our community, the students, the staff, and the parents. And as I listened, I noticed there appeared to be a love for the community and the history of the school, but there also seemed to be an overwhelming sense of hopelessness. It seemed as though there was this deep longing for excellence, but many were doubting its attainability. So this is how we arrived at our vision statement of inspiring hope and excellence for every child. We committed to the belief that Stevenson would be a place of hope and excellence. So it was a shift from focusing on the challenges and obstacles within our community to really viewing each child as an individual, full of strengths, potential, and a bright, hopeful future. It was also a shift in our mindset about our own practices as educators. Rather than settling for what we think that we already knew about teaching and learning, we committed to be in the constant pursuit of growing our own practices so that we absolutely could be a school of excellence. So around the same time that we were adopting our new vision at Stevenson, our district was also in the pursuit of developing a portrait of a graduate for Mesa Public Schools. There was an overwhelming desire within our community for students to graduate with more than simply academic skills. Parents, business owners, staff, and students all voiced that there should be broader student outcomes, including attitudes such as ethical, inclusive, resilient, and skills such as communicating, collaborating, contributing to our community, being a creative and critical thinker, and problem solving. So the Portrait of a Graduate is our guide at Stevenson as we have explored deeper personalized learning. So let me tell you a little bit about how we've approached teaming here at Stevenson. Really, through the partnership with ASU, we began to just reimagine our profession and take a deep look at how we could utilize teaming to make the important instructional shifts we were wanting to make. So like most schools, our teachers were already accustomed to working in teams to do things like plan for instruction, analyze data, and share the day-to-day tasks of duties as educators. However, the terminology that ASU used in regards to wrapping adults around a shared roster of students really started to resonate with us and make us think deeply about our practices. So fortunately, we had this dynamic third grade team that was already highly collaborative, and they were very inspired by the ideas set forth in the Next Education workforce. And they wanted to do a pilot for our school for the 2021 school year. So this slide portrays the makeup of our third grade team. It was comprised of one lead teacher, 2 additional certified teachers, and 3 ASU paid student teachers or residents. So they all worked together to share a roster of 75 students who were enrolled in both in-person and remote learning all throughout the year. And in addition, we had some shared team members. These were our special area teachers and special education teachers and our Title I specialists who also help support our learners. Our district is very supportive of this work of the Next Education workforce, and they helped us make improvements to our space to allow for a more collaborative, fluid design. Our building is approximately 50 years old and was definitely designed for a one teacher, one classroom model. So we were fortunate enough to be able to install some large glass doors to connect all 4 classrooms, as well as purchase flexible seating and furniture. These updates really did help create the physical conditions to work together as a team to share students. So sharing space and students were steps toward deeper personalized learning. However, we knew that we needed to grow significantly in our instructional practices to truly provide this type of instruction. So our teachers previous to this initiative had spent a lot of time increasing their skills in delivering direct, explicit instruction. And in fact, the emphasis in this type of instruction helped us raise our letter grade from a D to a B within 1 school year. However, we knew that our direct instruction model was not enough to help all learners grow into our portrait of a graduate. So in order to grow our practices and truly provide deep personalized learning, there was a lot of intentional effort and time put into our own professional development and planning so that this team was prepared to instruct in new ways. We started by adopting an inquiry learning model for our literacy instruction. We leveraged the materials from the Lucy Calkins units of study to implement reading and writing workshop. Through the workshop model, the teacher will present a mini lesson, and then students self-select books and topics that match their interest and independent levels. Students shifted from seeing reading and writing simply as tasks to be completed and graded to really identifying themselves as readers and authors with voice, choice, and ownership of their learning. Students also engaged in a genius hour. So during this time, they were supported by teachers to brainstorm topics of personal interest, to learn how to research, identify project outcomes, create timelines, and share their learning with others. Genius hour was very messy with third graders. Teachers had to embrace giving up some control and supporting each learner in their own personal inquiry. It really stretched our teachers and our learners and ended up being a game changer for us. The teachers started to get to know the students on deeper levels as they learned about what truly interests them. There was such a variety of topics within our learners that they were interested in, such as sleep cycles, beatboxing, skateboarding, Barbie fashion, gymnastics, and so many others. The teachers were truly amazed, as was I, as how curious our students really were and really how much they could actually do. Students grew in their confidence as learners and felt valued as individuals. For several of our shy and struggling learners, the success they found in Genius Hour began to increase their motivation and achievement in our other content areas. In addition to providing voice and choice throughout our school day, teachers provided personalized learning through one-on-one conferencing and targeted small group instruction. Teachers worked hard to create some systems to record the data and observational notes for each student. The team would meet regularly to analyze this information and design targeted interventions in instruction to meet the needs of all learners. All teachers on the team, including special education teachers, are a part of this process in order to really personalize the learning. One thing that is so wonderful about teaming is removing that barrier that one teacher should and could be all things to all students in the classroom. This is really an impossible task, and I found that it often led to educators feeling unsuccessful, lonely, or burnt out. So we know that inherently all people, including educators, will have strengths and areas of growth. So when we focus on building teams around educators' strengths, we become stronger and more successful. Both educators and students thrive in this model. So at Stevenson, we use this continuum of educator roles to build our third grade team. As I previously mentioned, the educational leaders on the team were our certified lead teacher and Title I specialist. Our professional educators included certified teachers, ASU student teacher residents, special education teachers, and special area teachers. And during our fourth quarter, we were even able to bring on our first community educator who served as a mindfulness coach for our students and teachers. So it was very important for us to recognize that all roles were important and valued, and we all needed to work together in order to be stronger for our students. So the lead teacher plays a vital role in the success of the team. So throughout this past year, together, administration, some of our ASU partners, and members of the third grade team worked to define the key duties and responsibilities of this role. The responsibilities included essentially developing and carrying the team to ensure that all the members on the team have a voice, ownership, and are fully supported in their individual roles. The lead teacher also models and delivers instruction on a daily basis, as well as provides coaching and support for team members. In addition, the team lead must lead the development of all systems such as communication, student management, data collection, scheduling meetings, and planning. And furthermore, this role really leads any problem solving and innovation initiative. So let me share with you a little bit about the day in the life of a third grade student this past year. So throughout the year, our third grade team was constantly reflecting and refining their practices. So this included several modifications to our daily student schedule. So the schedule posted before you is the schedule that ended up being the most successful, and once it was identified, was maintained for the remainder of the school year. So as you can see, students started and ended their day in what the team called as a family meeting. During this time, all third graders would meet in a room with all teachers. And the focus of this time was to develop social emotional skills, build community, and set goals for the day. The rest of the day was broken into 3 1-hour and 15-minute sessions that would include ELA, math, and an innovation time of science, social studies, and Genius Hour. During these sessions, certified teachers would partner with the student teachers, and they would work to develop their areas of specializations and expertise. Additionally, daily time was allocated for read aloud, reading intervention, and specials. So the work that the third grade team did this year served as a mini lab for our entire school. We were able to identify ideas and strategies that would work for our own students with our own staff and our own resources. And overall, we could see that there was an increase in student motivation and buy-in to their learning. Students were more engaged and on task than in previous years. Colleagues across the school were intrigued and inspired by the work that was happening in third grade, and several other grade level teams began implementing the reading and writing workshop by mid-year. And by the end of the year, all teams had taken steps to bring inquiry into their classrooms. So it's exciting to share that next year at Stevenson, we will be doing a school-wide model of the next education workforce. This means that all grade levels at Stevenson will work in teams to provide deeper personalized learning. Every team will not look exactly like the third grade team, but rather each team will leverage their own strengths and skills to deploy the team to meet the needs of all learners. Additionally, our district has committed to investing in the school-wide model by purchasing the flexible furniture and updating our classroom designs across campus so that we would have more open, collaborative learning spaces. It was about spring break that we decided to take this leap. So our staff used fourth quarter to begin the professional development that we needed. Teachers visited other schools, each other's classrooms, participated in trainings on inquiry, and even an ASU cohort to begin developing their teams. We also invited our parents on campus and began touring our third grade classrooms and talking about the shifts we were going to make throughout the school. The parents were extremely excited and encouraged by the changes that we were making. So right now there is great momentum and excitement for what is to come. And we know that this work towards deeper personalized learning for all students is going to have a significant impact on student learning and our community at large. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we hope that by sharing our journey, we can create a network of educators committed to the next education workforce model. If you would like to connect, please feel free to email me. Thank you.